Oklahoma City has gone from being the 27th largest city in the US to being the 20th largest in just a few years. Across the board, we've seen so much investment in this little city on the prairie. And just 2 hours north is the city of Wichita, Kansas. It has long been known as the air capital of the world. Wichita now seems to be on a similar path to Oklahoma City, hopefully without the trauma and the drama that has occurred. Oklahoma City has spent years diversifying beyond oil and gas. Paycom, Hobby Lobby, Love's, Dell, Devon Energy, these are some of the biggest companies in Oklahoma City. This has been an extremely strategic shift for the city. Depending on oil and gas in the economy, it means that there's a lot of ups and downs for the economy and for families, so they're trying to get away from that. Wichita, until fairly recently, has been very dependent on aviation. Spirit Aerosystems, Textron Aviation, these are just a couple of the large companies that are in Wichita. These companies are absolute powerhouses in the aviation space. Recently, though, Koch Industries, Cargill, and Johnson Controls have expanded their reach into tech, agriculture, energy. It's changing the game in Wichita. Now, both Wichita and Oklahoma City are part of the Silicon Prairie. Now, have you never heard of that? Because I certainly had not. But I looked it up and it's the same. It's a similar take. It's the same thing as Silicon Valley in California, except that it's a lot bigger and it's in the middle of America. This is going to include places like DFW, Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, other places like Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas. All of these can be part of what they're calling the Silicon Prairie. So as far as I can tell, it's just companies who want to move to the area because the land is cheap and so is the labor. So location is one cause for Oklahoma City's boom. Oklahoma City is located at the intersection of I-35, I-44, and I-40. The population of Oklahoma City right now is just over 700,000 people. That is just the city of Oklahoma City. It does not include suburbs. And location partly contributes to the size of the city and how it's been growing so quickly. And yes, Oklahoma City is in Tornado Alley. I know that was your next question, so I just went ahead and said it. Wichita is also located on I-35, just 2 hours north, like we said, and the population of Wichita is just over 400,000 at this point. And yes, Wichita is also in Tornado Alley.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
Rail lines flow through both cities, Oklahoma City and Wichita. And because it's Middle America, these rail lines are freight lines. Will Rogers International Airport in OKC was just renamed from Will Rogers World Airport. This airport in OKC includes 30 plus gates, and these are all of the different commercial airliners that fly out of this airport. Honestly, Oklahoma City is one of the easiest airports I have ever flown out of in my life. It's amazing. It's not a connection airport. I've never in my life seen someone connect through Oklahoma City, though I guess it's possible. I haven't seen it. Maybe if you have, please comment. The growth of this travel center, it's just been exponential and it's been pretty quick in the time that I've lived here in Oklahoma City. And honestly, the same goes for the Dwight D. Eisenhower Airport in Wichita. It's smaller than OKC with less than half the gates. It has just over 12 gates. And these are the commercial airlines that fly out of ICT. And as far as nonstop flights, here are the flights that you can take that are nonstop from Oklahoma City. And here are the flights that you can take nonstop from ICT. For a city to be attractive enough for people to move from places like Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, New York City, it has to have more than just a great location and a great airport. Prior to the Oklahoma City bombing, Oklahoma City didn't really have much going for it. People didn't really love living in Oklahoma City. So in 1993, this plan was cooked up, actually probably prior to 1993, and it's called MAPS. And in 1993, the citizens of Oklahoma City voted for MAPS. MAPS in Oklahoma City is a capital investment initiative that uses a temporary sales tax to fund debt-free projects. and this project is still ongoing and they are on phase 4. In Oklahoma City, MAPS has funded things like the Paycom Center, which is where the Thunder play. There's also the Bricktown Canal, Bricktown Ballpark, the renovations on the Civic Center, so many things that MAPS has funded for the city. Wichita is really not far behind, to be honest with you, even though it's almost half the size of Oklahoma City. Wichita seems to have leaned more on the private sector than OKC has, but they have put a growth plan in place called the Regional Growth Plan. Wichita receives a lot of the same entertainment options as Oklahoma City in terms of like concerts and shows and stuff. And then while Wichita doesn't have like an NBA team or any sort of professional team, I mean, it has semi-professional, don't get me wrong. They have a semi-professional team for hockey and then also for baseball and I believe basketball as well. So I'm Marcie Billen and I'm a real estate agent here in Oklahoma. And I'm connected to real estate agents all over the country. On my website, you can fill out this short form so I can call you and get you connected to the right person for where you want to be and your next steps. And yes, I do personally make those phone calls and I love talking to you guys. You're going to find this link in the description and then also down in the comments. So the opportunity for higher education is attractive not only to students in these cities, but also to the non-student group. I feel like this is because higher education really pushes growth and opportunity. So if you can live around that, then you can also be a part of that growth and opportunity. Well, there is not a public university in OKC. There is the largest university in Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma in Norman. And then Edmond also has a university called the University of Central Oklahoma. Man, you guys should really count how many times I say Oklahoma in this video. Like, it just feels like a lot, but it's just a big word, I think. That's part of it. Both of these universities are 4-year public universities. Now, Wichita is home to Wichita State University. It is the 3rd largest university in Kansas. This university has been heavily focused on engineering, tech, and health to push the city forward and the state. So while Oklahoma City is almost double the size of Wichita, it is definitely not double the price. The average home price that we find here in OKC is around $230,000 at the time of filming. That's going to vary wildly out in the suburbs. In Wichita, the average home price is still under $200,000. I honestly didn't know you could find a spot still where the prices were that low, but apparently you can. Now, these are prices at the time of filming, and this can change and does change quite often. I hope this outline gave you a really good feel for both cities, and I hope to see you next time. Be sure that you watch this video next.